Hey, what's up ladies and gentlemen, I'm Ignace Aleya and today I will be reviewing the Insta360 One. Before we start this video, I want to let you know that I did receive the Insta360 One for free. They sent me out a review model, but by no means am I paid to make this video and I can speak my true and honest opinion. So let's get started. Alright, so the Insta360 One, it can shoot up to 4K 360 footage and it comes with some impressive features such as the bullet time and the flow state stabilization. I'll go through the main features, build quality, design, the app features, and finally the software that it comes with. And in this video I will also show you some unedited footage from the camera, so let's get started. One of the main features of the Insta360 One is the ability to shoot a bullet time like video, which is really cool. Activating this mode is as easy as pressing the power button 3 times. In this mode you have to swing the camera around you, either using the included strong wire or by using the optional selfie stick, but you can also just hold it in your hand. The camera can capture video in this mode from 120 fps to 240 fps algorithmically via the app or the Insta360 Studio software. I'll go over the post-processing for both later. Apart from using the bullet time, you can also take 24 megapixel stills and 4K 360 video, which you can set to a wide variety of seconds from 3 to 60. It's also possible to apply a filter and you can choose to use the manual exposure if you want to have more control over your photos. Options include ISO from 100 to 3200, shutter speed, white balance, and the option to capture a raw photo. So basically you can modify pretty much everything. It's also possible to upload your 360 photos directly into the Google Street View. Sharing it to various social media is also possible. In video mode, the available options are similar to the ones found in the photo mode, with the only difference being instead of selecting raw, you can use a log to capture a flat profile for grading later on, which is pretty cool. Additionally, you can also adjust the exposure through the EV option. The next mode is 360 live video. You can live stream to Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Weibo, or use a custom server. The 360 live streaming ability is pretty great. The available options here are FPS 15 and 30 and the resolution from 720p, 1080p or 1280p. And then the last mode is a standard live streaming, but here you can choose between different projection settings by dragging your finger. Options are the same as a 360 live streaming mode. Another great feature of the Insta360 One is the included flow state stabilization. By toggling this effect, you can stabilize your footage as if it was shot using a gimbal. Stabilization is done by looking at the different gyroscope measurements, meaning that you get a very accurate result. You do get some warping, but nothing too serious. I've tested this camera on our nose dog and the stabilization results were pretty amazing, especially when compared to the unstabilized footage. The dog was running like crazy and the shake was all over the place, but once we toggled the stabilization mode, it was completely gone. Image quality and stitching. As I said earlier, the Insta360 One can take 24 megapixel stills and shoot 4K video. Unfortunately, the quality isn't that great to be completely honest, but keeping in mind that this camera is pretty low budget, which in that case makes it a pretty good 360 camera. It's also worth noting that those resolutions need to be divided in two because you're using 2 separate lenses and sensors, one in the front and one in the back. So each separate camera captures 12 megapixel stills and 1080 video. The most apparent quality issue is that you see a high amount of noise in both photo and video. Even outdoors on a bright sunny day, there is still a lot of noise to be found in the sky. I wouldn't recommend using this camera in low light situations or indoor. The stitching of the 360 video is pretty good though. Build quality and design. The design of the Insta360 One is compact and it's easy to take with you. It's made from a high quality plastic and it comes with a holder to store the camera. There is also a thread for tripod or accessory mounting, and just to the side of it is the micro SD card slot, and the charging can be done with a regular micro USB cable. There are also a number of accessories available, including a tripod, drone mount, helmet mount, waterproof housing for those incredibly beautiful underwater 360 shots, and a selfie stick, Bluetooth remote, and a suction cup for card mounting. For our review, we also got the selfie stick, and it's a pretty great and solid accessory. It's nicely designed and is made out of aluminum and rubber for the handle. It offers plenty of extension range, up to 117 centimeters, which is 46 inches, while still being quite sturdy. No wiggle at all. The stick is perfect to use for the bullet time feature as well. The app is another key feature of the Insta360 One. With it, you can see a live preview and change all the settings of the camera, but in order to do that, you'll need to connect your camera to your smartphone or tablet. You can also use a Bluetooth connection for remote capture, but you'll lose the live preview. I previously talked about the bullet time feature, and now it's time to edit the footage using the 360 app. So, after capturing your amazing bullet time video, you can go into the app and change the speed at which you want to view the bullet time footage. By tapping on Edit, you can easily switch between the different speeds, and the app will create keyframes whenever you change the speed. You can choose between 4x slow motion, 2x, 1x, or a half time. Afterwards, you have to tap on Preview and then on Save to export the file so you can share it to your different social media, which includes Instagram, YouTube, Insta360's own community platform. You can also save the file to your smartphone and see it like that. The app also features an editor where you can apply a filter, adjust the speed of your video, trim the captured video, or add a music track. Another great feature is the free capture. In this mode, you can choose between Smart Track, Pivot Point, and Viewfinder. In Smart Track, you can define a point you want to track, and the app will try to do its best to track it for you. In my testing, I found that it's quite reliable. Just make sure that when you are tracking a face, it doesn't look away, because then the tracking won't work perfectly. Pivot Point allows you to direct the viewer to a certain spot in your video. You can select a point and the viewport will look at that point. Select another one later in the video and the app will create a keyframe and do a smooth transition to that point, so you can actually animate the camera movement within the editor. Finally, Viewfinder lets you adjust the projection smoothly over time. You can go from little planet to spherical in a matter of seconds, applying some effects. You can save and export the file. While viewing your videos, you can change between different aspect ratios. Options include 9:16, which is the default, 1:1, which is great for Instagram, for example, and 16:9 for a regular kind of aspect ratio. When viewing photos, you can also change the projection from fisheye to spherical or little planet. Other options are the ability to add a filter, add a sticker, which will be tracked onto the photo, which is pretty cool, or take a snapshot of a specific part of the image. A last feature the app has is to change the settings of the camera. Customize triple click function, calibrate the gyro, or add a logo to your library to be used on your footage. Two programs are available to view or edit your 360 footage on a PC or a Mac. There is no way around these programs because the Insta360 One uses proprietary codecs. The first one is called Insta360 Player and is simply used to view your footage on your computer. During testing, I found no issues whatsoever, and my 4-year-old laptop was able to play the footage without any issues. You can change the projection, take a screenshot, or invert the projection. If you want to edit your footage, you'll have to use the Insta360 Studio software. Here you can also change the projection of your footage, trim the video, capture a specific part of the video, or edit the bullet time videos. Using the software may be confusing at first because you have a panel player and capture button on top. The first one is basically the same player as Insta360 Player. You can export while in this view, but any changes to the projection won't be rendered out. You can toggle different export settings, such as output resolution, removing of purple fringe, optical flow stitching, and gyroscope, which is the flow state stabilization, export bitrate, and export location. When switching to capture, you get some more tools at your disposal. In this mode, you can add keyframes to your clips so you can change the projection on the fly. This way you can create some very neat looking transitions. For example, going from little planet effect to spherical. What's weird though is that you lose some export settings such as the optical flow stitching and the gyroscope stabilization. The export resolution is also reduced from 4K to Full HD. This means that you no longer control the viewport manually, for example in VLC. When you import a bullet time video, you don't have any option to change the editing mode. You also can't preview these files unless you export them. Resolution is also fixed at 1280 by 720, which is the regular HD. You can, however, change the speed at which a video needs to be exported. All speeds except 1/8 will give you a smooth slow motion effect. So basically, if you want to convert your 360 footage to a more common .mp4 format, you would use the panel player export. But if you want to change a projection, add some keyframes, you would use capture export. There is also a plugin available in order to natively import the .insp or .insv footage into Premiere Pro or After Effects, without the need to converting them first. So my conclusion is that overall, I'm very impressed with the value you get from this camera. Sure, the image quality might not be the best, but you're looking at a low budget 360 4K camera, and yes, the app and software are sometimes a bit clunky, but that doesn't take away the fact that you still have a very powerful and advanced camera. Especially the flow state is very impressive. If you're looking for an affordable, easy to use, yet very powerful 360 camera, then look no further than the Insta360 One. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give this video a like. Also be sure to subscribe to the channel for more. Definitely check out our website. We have a bunch to offer for filmmakers and motion graphics artists. Links are in the description, and hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.